A man was driving home and entered a tunnel. He hadn't gone far when the lights inside the tunnel started flickering. He looked back and saw the tunnel beginning to collapse, accompanied by a deafening sound that was getting closer and closer. He sped up, trying to make it out of the tunnel, but it was too late. After an unknown amount of time, the man finally woke up. His eyes were bloodshot, and his face was covered in dust. He was already buried underground along with his car. His first instinct was to call for help, but there was no signal, and the man grabbed a bottle of mineral water, gulping it down. He had no idea how precious water would be to him in the coming days. Meanwhile, rescue workers arrived at the scene and were stunned by what they saw. Most of the mountain had collapsed, and they couldn't even find an entry point to save the man. The news quickly spread and became a hot topic. Countless calls were made to the man, asking to interview him and get any information about him. The rescue team leader was furious. He pulled away the reporters' vehicles and loudly scolded them not to call the man again, as it would drain his phone battery and make it impossible to know his exact location. The leader grabbed a reporter's phone and deleted his call history. When the man called again, the leader told him some protective measures and stressed the importance of protecting his food and water. The man said he only had 2 bottles of water and a cake, which wouldn't last long. The leader reassured him, saying they would definitely rescue him before the water ran out. He took out the tunnel design drawings, which showed a total of 6 ventilation ducts. Based on the time the man entered, he should be trapped between the 3rd and 4th ducts. At this point, the man received a call from his wife and daughter. He promised his daughter that he would definitely give her the gift she liked. After the brief call, he cleared the stones inside the car. Now all he could do was wait. Meanwhile, major media outlets had gathered at the other end of the tunnel. The rescue team used drones to check the situation inside the tunnel, and a large number of reporters also joined in the frenzy. They released a bunch of drones, all wanting to get the first-hand news. However, as soon as they entered the tunnel, they all lost signal and crashed. Not a single one came out. The rescue team leader decided to go in and check for himself. He told his teammates to stay in the car while he got out. The front of the tunnel was already blocked by a wall of rubble. He looked through the cracks, and suddenly, his teammate honked the horn. The leader scolded him, explaining that in this kind of collapsed tunnel, sound could very likely cause a secondary collapse. But the man trapped inside heard the horn. He immediately called the leader, and both of them were extremely excited. This was enough to prove that the distance between them was relatively close, and they thought he would be rescued soon. However, at that moment, dust began to fall, and the leader heard the sound of tremors. The tunnel was about to collapse again. They quickly got into the car. A large rock suddenly fell in front of the car, and countless stones rained down from the sky. The leader stepped on the gas and reversed at high speed. The collapse of the tunnel was getting faster and faster, and it seemed like it would catch up to them at any moment. At the last second, he finally managed to back out. The leader quickly called the man to check on his situation. Fortunately, he was still alive, but now the entire tunnel had completely collapsed. The hope of rescue was becoming more and more remote. Just then, the man unintentionally noticed a crucial clue. He saw a ventilation fan with the number 3 written on it, which allowed the rescue team to determine his general location. Several excavators were airlifted to the scene, and the rescue plan was quickly determined. They decided to dig a rescue passage from top to bottom. The man took out the now scarce mineral water. He no longer gulped it down, but instead used the bottle cap to drink small amounts at a time. He took out the cake he had prepared for his daughter and ate it slowly, bit by bit. This was his only food. Suddenly, he heard a sound. Could there be something else in there with him?